It is a beautiful day for baseball here at historic Russell E. Diethrick Park as the visiting Olean Oilers, coming in at 1-2, take on the hometown 2-0 Jamestown Tarp Skunks. Hello again and welcome to another Tarp Skunks broadcast. I'm Dre Guinness alongside Jalen Ferguson. And Jalen, not a bad way to start off the season, a home and away mini two-game sweep over the Olean Oilers, and they close out the three-game set to begin the 2026 campaign.
Yeah, that's right. The Jamestown Tarp Skunks being able to completely shut them out and mercy rule them in the home opener, and then going to Olean on Saturday and completely doing the same thing. I am expecting for them to do the exact same thing to close out this three-game set. I mean, it's back to our home field. It's back home.
It is back home. The cozy confines, definitely a night and day difference between fields, between ballparks, and as much as it is nice to get out on the road, there is no place like home. Speaking of home, Olean was on the road last night facing Batavia in their home opener, and Olean picking up their first win of the season, giving Batavia their first loss by a 10-7 count, Jalen.
Yeah, I saw that game last night, and Olean, I guess they used that momentum to feel like they used their two losses to get a win on the road against Batavia, but now it's back here. In that game, though, I will say they have gotten a lot more disciplined at the plate. They drew a lot of walks. They were able to draw at least 10 walks against Batavia in the game 2 nights ago.
Through three games, Olean able to put up 19 runs, 3 on opening night here on Friday, 6 against the Skunks in Olean on Saturday, put up a 10 spot against Batavia last night. Might be looking at a little bit of a different outcome, though, because the Tarp Skunks, their offense has been unbelievable. 27 runs in 2 games, and that is anchored not just by one, not two, but a number of players on this Tarp Skunks roster. Obviously, we have to talk about at the top of the list, Grant Moore coming in 5 of 7 on the season. Doubles, triples. The only thing this kid can't do is hit singles, apparently. And you know what? We'll take more of it all season long. Paul Delanto flexing his muscles on Saturday, hitting a grand slam, not only a grand slam, but an Oppo Taco. The right-handed hitter taking it out to left field and clearing the bags. A little bit of a different situation here tonight. Wind not as breezy, is kind of swirling around the ballpark a little bit, going from right to left, left to right. It's going to be interesting to see how the ball carries out in the outfield here tonight, and a couple changes just one small change in the outfield here tonight. Matthew Dumas will be playing in left. C.J. Dugan moving over to right today. We're going to see a little bit of a different look, but a little bit of a same look over the last couple of days as the Jamestown Tarp Skunks still trying to do a little bit of plug and play, figure out where players go, what their best spots is, and what their best place in the starting lineup is. But let's talk about, the hitting. It's the Grant Moore, Paul Delanto, Blake Herman has been tremendous. He's been a run machine so far in his second campaign with the Skunks.
Yeah, that's right. And one thing, not only does hitting the ball work pretty well, as you have a lot of power, and they're just seeing the gaps, being able to drive the ball into the gaps and get extra bases. But not only that, they do have a lot of speed on the base path, so even if they do get singles or being able to get on base any way, shape, or form, they pose as a problem on the base path. So Grant Moore and another one is Matthew Dumas and, of course, Herman. Those are going to be some key players to watch out for when they are on the bases.
Yeah, Blake Herman, Matthew Dumas, Grant Moore, all bringing tremendous amounts of speed. Jaxson, I just lost
Dixon.
James Dixon also with speed, but there's just a number of speedsters on this team. There are a number of players that have multiple tools that you can kind of mix and match. And, granted, we've only seen Olean for 2. We're going to see him for 3 and start getting into the rest of the league starting this week. Wednesday, tomorrow on the road at Batavia, Thursday in Newark, Friday up in Canada for the Niagara Ironbacks, and then Saturday over in the Niagara Falls Americans. So, it's a nice thing for the Skunks to be able to get 3 against the same opponent, kind of get a similar feeling, almost get a little bit of a spring training type feel before you get into the rest of the league.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing the Olean Oilers 3 times, but I am very willing to see how they play up against the rest of the league. But I will say, putting up 27 is a great way to show all the teams that you're serious about winning and you can possibly be a contender this year.
Yeah, and Olean's going to have a little bit more confidence coming into this game, putting up that 10 spot against Batavia, who is historically a very tough team to win in that ballpark. Dwyer Stadium, for some reason, the Batavia Muck Dogs are able to defend it and defend it well, and yesterday Olean was able to break the code. The umpires are at home plate. They are going over the ground rules, and the starting lineups will be announced here momentarily. Let's go ahead and take a look at the visiting starting lineups for the Olean Oilers. Leading off at center field is going to be Grant Fournier. The left fielder batting second, Connor Vercolone. Batting third, the catcher, Anthony Radice. Derek Stout, the designated hitter, will bat fourth. Thomas Bates, the second baseman, bats fifth. Jack Painter at first base will bat fifth. Batting sixth, Cooper Tarley in right field. Aiden Cowburn will be the third baseman, batting eighth. Aramis Romero will be batting ninth and playing shortstop. And batting 10th for the Oilers will be Connor O'Mara, the extra hitter. And on the mound for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is going to be Jack Castillo. Castillo, 1 appearance. He's only thrown 2/3 of an inning. Struck out 1, walked none. Has given up no hits, no runs. So he will get his first start in a Jamestown Tarp Skunks uniform. And let's step away as we go down to Jeremy Becker for the introductions of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. Oh, we're going to get the ceremonial first pitch.
The Resource Center has benefited from his compassion, drive, and knowledge. Thank you, Greg Peterson, for nearly half a century of making the common effort that you provide. Tonight's ceremonial first pitch is being done by Jacob Schweinsberg, Jacob's community coach at the Resource Center, where he supports people with disabilities in the community, free vocational program. Jacob was the 2026 recipient of the Norma J. Smith Award, which is presented to a Resource Center employee who does an outstanding job in supporting people with disabilities. Jacob, the pitch is yours.
Public address announcer Jeremy Becker ready to announce the Jamestown Tarp Skunks lineup to the nice crowd here at Diethrick Park. We'll go ahead and give you the starting lineups. Grant Moore will lead off, playing center field. Blake Herman at short will bat second. Caleb Jordan batting third. At third base, the catcher Paul Delanto will bat fourth. Branson Lindquist behind the dish will bat fifth. James Dixon, the designated hitter, bats sixth. JRC will play first base and bat seventh. Batting eighth will be CJ Dugan out in right field. Tito Kiefer at second base will bat ninth. And the speedster Matthew Dumas at the bottom of the order will bat 10th. We're going to step away for just a moment as we will have the starting lineups. No, let's just go ahead and keep it here for a moment and let Jeremy take over.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to say, we say police rockets, and roofer caps, and sing along with your life. As John Mayer will sing the national anthem by John Graham in the B. Moore American Sign Language Group, led by David Benson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last streaming? Who was stripes and bright stars to the perilous fight? O'er the ramparts we watched, we're so gallantly screaming, and the rockets went flare to once first in there, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, we are just a couple of minutes removed from the first pitch of the ball game. We're going to step away, take a break. We'll be back with the first pitch in just a moment. Back here at Diethrick Park, as we are just moments away from the first pitch of the ball game. Once again, for the Tarp Skunks, Jack Castillo, his first start, second appearance. He's worked 2/3 of an inning, struck out 1, and zeros across the board. He will face Grant Fournier, Connor Vercolone, and Anthony Redis. 1, 2, 3 to get this game underway. And the first pitch, missing outside for a ball. 1-0. And that is how we get started. 6:36. Next pitch popped up foul back toward us and into the screen.
Only my arms were a little bit longer. I could be able to make that catch. Just fell right in front of us.
Had a little bit of a swing to it. Count even up at 1 apiece. Top of the first inning just underway here at Diethrick Park as the next pitch is bunted toward first. Picked up by JRC, raced to the bag, and they got him by a half a step.
And that is good job by JRC being able to make the catch and run to first. That was a really close play at first. Just beat him by an eyelash, and you heard some of the Olean Oiler players. They thought he was safe on that one.
You know, it was going to be one of those bang-bang plays, but, you know, Castillo was there at the same time as JRC and quickly won away. And that is going to bring up Connor Vercolone. Takes the first pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. This is the first time we've seen him this season. Next pitch is a breaking ball just off the plate, 2-0.
Connor Vercolone up against the Mutt Dogs 2 nights ago, put up 1 for 3 with a walk and a double, well, 2 walks and a double.
Next pitch fouled off to the right, and it's 2-1.
And one thing about the pitching I will say in this game is that the Oilers starting to get a lot more disciplined. I noticed during the Oiler game against the Mutt Dogs that they were able to draw a lot more walks.
That breaking ball just missing on the inside corner, 3-1.
It's good by Delanto to flame it, but unfortunately it was obviously out or inside for a ball.
So Castillo's going to have to come in here, 3-1, and a fastball up, and that is going to be a walk. First runner given up by Jack Castillo, who comes via the walk.
Like I said, drawing walks, that's going to be the name of the game for them. Got a lot more disciplined after the first game of the season. Now they're able to draw more walks.
That's going to bring up Anthony Redis, Olean catcher, sitting third in the lineup. Runner takes his lead, and the first pitch poured in for a strike, 0-1.
Good job by Delanto to frame it.
Not sure what kind of speed Vercolone has over at first.
Got a pretty good distance from first.
Lead foot just off the infield cutoff, and the pitch. Runner goes, taken for a ball, throw down to second, and see you later. He's thrown out.
Good job by Delanto being able to make the throw. Like you said, you don't know how much speed he had. He had a good jump on that, but unfortunately, Delanto had a lot of time to set up that throw and still got him out.
So now 2 down. As Redis facing a 2-0 count. And that pitch taken for a strike. 2-1.
And another thing that they got to work on is falling behind. In the last game against the Oilers, fell behind too many times.
That one on the inside corner for a called Strike 3 on the breaking ball. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Olean nothing, and the Tarp Skunks coming to bat. No score here at Diethrick Park as we go to the bottom of the first inning. And for the Oilers is going to be Jaxson Ross. Ross, who had a rough outing here on Friday in relief, is going to get the pill to start. And he will face Grant Moore, Blake Herman, and Caleb Jordan. 1, 2, 3 due up for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks.
And for people who are just tuning in, this is an at-bat you will want to pay attention to. This guy, Grant Moore, has been on a tear in recent weeks, even though it's only been 3 games. This is his 3rd game, but he has been really good at the plate in recent at-bats.
Coming in batting .714, 5 for 7, an RBI, 3 walks, and a strikeout. Left-handed pitcher waits, and the first pitch cut on and miss. 0-1 on a pitch that looked like it had a little elevation in the zone. And that's something we didn't really get to talk about on Friday with Jaxson Ross. His elevation was below the knees most at bats. So that pitch down and away, 1-1.
Yeah, one thing is you're going to have to beat the Oilers at their own game of drawing walks.
Tarp Skunks have shown the propensity for patience. It's the 1-1. Taken right down the middle for a strike. 1-2.
Now, one thing is that he is not afraid to fall behind in the count. He feels like he has the power and has the hitting ability to drive one into the gap and get on base.
Left-hander waits, lefty on lefty here, and the pitch. Swing at a pitch. Ball dropped, throwing to first to complete the strikeout. And there is one away.
It's a good job by Moore not giving up on that. He was able to run to first, but it wasn't out of the reach of the catcher.
So that's going to bring up Blake Herman. Batting .500 with 4 RBIs, a walk, no strikeouts so far on the 2026 campaign.
We talked about speed on the base path in the pregame. Got one guy who's fast and another guy fast right afterwards.
First pitch, there's a line drive into left field. That is a base hit. And so Blake Herman continues tearing the cover off the baseball.
Good job being able to square one and line it into left. Now you got some collateral on first base. And hopefully I see him stealing.
That's going to bring up Caleb Jordan. Changed his number from 25 to 38. Batting 400, 3 RBIs, no walks and a strikeout. Blake Herman taking his lead off first. And time called here.
I would like to see how Herman does against the left-handed pitcher.
I'd like to see what Ross's pickoff motion looks like here. Herman taking a modest lead off first, and the first pitch comes in for a strike. 0-1.
This is the third game in the series, so they know that Herman can go.
Ross checking the runner, the pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. So this is a definitely a different pitcher than we saw Friday night.
It is. He's having location problems, but now I think he's starting to figure it out.
Jordan waiting, waving that bat back and forth, and now Ross stepping off the rubber.
And again, like I said, they know that Herman can go.
And the pitch. Ooh, way up and in. That evens it up. Or makes it 1-2.
Yeah, I kind of flinched a little bit looking at that. That was up and almost hit him in the head. He moved out of the way.
Curveball that just didn't come out of his hand right. As Herman again, still modest lead off first. Deeks a steal, and there's a high chopper right back to Ross. His only play is going to be to first. And on the low underhand toss, gets Jordan. Herman moves to second, and with 2 out, that's going to bring up Paul Delanto.
You know, I love what Herman did at first, but it was a good hit. It was a blooper because he was not going to be able to get the guy at second, was not going to be able to get Herman at second. So that was a sacrifice in my opinion.
Paul Delanto standing in, batting 400, 4 RBIs, all coming off the grand slam on Saturday. And that first pitch poured right in for a strike, 0-1.
And during that grand slam, remember that the wind was blowing to the left. It was able to pick up and push towards left field. I didn't know if it had the distance, but it just barely got over the wall for a home run.
Definitely jet stream aided, but we will take the grand slam. Winds blowing from right to left here today. Very unusual out of the east. There's a foul off to the right side. And the count drops to 0-2. 70 degrees here at game time. Winds blowing out of the east, 8 miles an hour. It's definitely going to add a little bit of jet stream to right-handed hitters here tonight.
And if you're a power righty, you will want to pull it to the left. However, the left fielder is deep out there.
0-2. Herman taking off for third. There's a little chopper out in front of the plate. Picked up and throw to first by Radice. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits, or 1 hit, 1 runner left. We go to the top of the second inning. It's no score. Back here at Diethrick Park, no score between the Skunks and Oilers. Jack Castillo on the mound for his second inning of work. He will face Stott, Bates, and Painter as the first pitch misses for a ball. 4-5-6 due up for the Oilers. Definitely a night and day difference between Saturday and today, where the first inning Saturday ended up going 45 minutes plus as there's a ground ball too short. Nice play by Herman on the backhand stab. Throw on the first in time. And there is quickly one away.
I got to say, good job. That was a really good scoop at first by JRC. It was a really close play at first as well. Glad he was able to get the out.
That's going to bring up Thomas Bates. Bates had a rough couple of games against the Tarp Skunks. As the first pitch misses up and away for a ball. 1-0.
They gave him the day off against the Muck Dogs 2 nights ago. Let's see how he does in this game tonight.
Definitely coming in fresh. As Castillo kicks and throws, and that one finds the zone. Now we're even at 1 apiece.
I like how he was able to freeze him up on the off speed, and it just caught the zone for a strike.
Dumas Moore Dugan left to right out in the outfield as the 1-1 finds the edge of the zone for a strike. Nice curveball. Breaking away and catching the outside corner. 1-2.
He's starting to find that spot. He's hit that spot twice with 2 different pitches.
Jordan, Herman, Kiefer, and JRC from left to right, third to first. And that one called strike 3, second strikeout for Jack Castillo on the curveball inside to right-handed hitters. And with 2 down, that is going to bring up Jack Painter, the first baseman.
I like in the previous play, he hit that spot 3 times. But he got a lefty coming up. Hopefully that doesn't change too much.
First pitch to Painter, missing for a ball, 1-0. And that seems to be a consistent theme here. Go 1-0 and then work your way back. The pitch. Changeup that just missed off the edge of the plate.
Good frame by Delanto, but he didn't get the call.
Well, held it there, showed the umpire, but he wasn't buying, and the 2-0 pitch fouled. Expecting a fastball on a hitter's count, getting a off-speed pitch, and even still was a little bit late on it, fouling it off the left side.
And Bates was fresh, but so is Painter.
The 2-1, there's a chopper. 2-second, Castillo snags it on the short hop, takes it to the bag himself, and quickly the side is retired. Nothing doing. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the second inning. It is no score. Degrees, no wind. Line drive down the third base line. That's a fair ball. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Herman will stop at second with a double and 2 RBIs. And we will wait to see. And that is going to do it. That is your ball game as the Jamestown Tarp Skunks mercy the Olean Oilers by a final score of 13-3. There's a high fly ball right field deep. That one is going way back, and it is gone! A grand slam for Paul Delanto. Welcome to the Skunks. Touch 'em all, Paul. It's 6-0 Tarp Skunks.
And that is the start that you want. You cannot ask for a better start. Putting up 6 in the first inning.
Four, 5, 6, 7 due up for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Jackson Ross on the hill for the Olean Oilers, and he will face Branston Lindquist, CJ Dugan, and JRC Joaquin Rodriguez Costa. As the first pitch to Lindquist taken outside for a ball, 1-0.
He was also given the day off after the other Oiler game on Saturday.
Batting 500, hits a ground ball too short. Picked up throw on the first by Romero, and there is one away.
You know, one thing that I will say is that the Oilers have finally figured it out on defense. They had a lot of struggles on routine ground balls, but now they have started to pick it up. So you're going to have to hit for the gaps because they've gotten better.
As James Dixon settles in, 250 on the early season with a walk and a strikeout. As that one way off the plate, 1-0.
Again, James Dixon is another one of those speed threats on the base path, but he also has that power in the bat, being able to drive it.
That next pitch missing 2-0.
That is a count that you want, 2-0.
Hitters count. Ross shaking off the first pitch. That tells me he might come back with something a little off speed here. As that one catches the outside corner for a strike. Looked like he took something off a little bit. May have gone with the splitter.
Yeah, maybe just wanted to throw off Dixon just a little bit.
2-1 the count. And that one way off the plate, 3-1. You know, I think it's kind of a tell when you're a hitter and you're in that 2-0-3-1 situation. You know, the catcher, the first thing they're generally going to drop is going to be a fastball, and you have the pitcher shake his head. That's pretty much a good indication you're not going to be getting some heat down the middle of the plate. Unlike that one, heat right down the middle at the knees, 3-2. Count goes full.
He's got to protect here with 3-2. Base hit or ball 4. Either way, you got to get on base.
And the pitch. Swinging, there's a drive out to right field. Tarley coming in, dives! And makes a spectacular catch to rob a hit from James Dixon, and there are 2 down.
That is a nice effort by Cooper Tarley. I thought that was going to fall just in front, but he dove for that, and he made the catch for the out. That is a nice work and nice speed to get the ball from Tarley.
You can't ask for anything better from your right fielder as JRC comes up looking for his first hit of the season. Fouls the first pitch he sees off, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, he's towards the bottom of the lineup. He's going to have to figure something out.
Red shirt at Delaware over the spring. This is a good chance for him to get some at-bats as that one low but not low the knees, 1-1. Heard some Oilers from the dugout groaning about it, but you know that's the advantage. JRC at 6'6", 6'7". Is that one inside for a ball, 2-1.
Yeah, he's really tall, has a very big strike zone, or a very tall strike zone.
Well, that elevates what would normally be a strike on someone, 6'1". moves his knees out of that zone as the 2-1 comes in. That one way up high, 3-1. And I had a little bit of a flashback to the other night where JRC took one in the back of the head on a glancing shot.
He did. One thing I will give credit to the Tarp Skunks is that they are not afraid to wear the ball.
3-1. Right down the middle for a called strike 2. And JRC tossed the bat away, thought that was going to be ball 4, did not like it.
Yeah, you saw how he tossed the bat over to the dugout. He thought that was ball 4, but then went off smiling, but he knows deep down that should have been ball 4.
Hopefully he dropped the sorry blue as he went back to pick up the bat. So one thing you don't ever want to do is show up the home plate umpire. And the 3-2, that one is outside for a ball. And JRC draws a walk. And with 2 outs, that's going to bring up CJ Dugan.
Even though JRC is looking for his first hit, he still has showed that he is able to get on base, being able to draw that walk. And he was hit by the pitch his last game out.
CJ Dugan, 167. One hit early in this season is Joaquin Rodriguez Costa taking a decent-sized lead. That first pitch in the dirt for a ball, 1-0.
Like I said, sometimes runners don't even steal. It's just a way to get into the pitcher's head. And here's the thing. The pitcher is a lefty, so he is looking straight at him.
You know, with all the dancing the Skunks have done on the base passes, there's a ground ball to third, easy play for Cowburn. Throws on to first, and we'll pick up that thought on the other side of the break. Nothing doing for the Skunks in the bottom of the second. We go to the top of the third. No score. As we go to the top of the third inning, Jack Castillo on the mound for his third inning of work. Cooper Tarley, Aiden Cowburn, and Aramis Romero due up. And here for his first ever inning of play-by-play, it's Jalen Ferguson.
Thank you. Thank you, Dre. As the first pitch, that one misses outside for a ball, so it will be 1-0. As Aiden Cowburn is on deck for the Olean Oilers. So he hit one to second and throws to first, and he got him out. Very close play at first, but good job by Kiefer to get the out.
Kiefer took a little bit of an extra pump to set his grip and throw that to first. A lot of speed by Tarley, and he almost beat that one out.
Yes, and so that will bring up Aiden Cowburn. It's the first pitch from Jack Castillo, and that one is called strike. Catches the zone at the knees, so it'll start out 0-1.
Yeah, Castillo has been very efficient. 23 pitches coming into this inning.
And he showed bunt but pulled back, but it will strike anyway. So now it will be an 0-2 count. You've got to love this momentum here.
Definitely, again, change of pace from Saturday's very long, drawn-out ball game.
Ooh, that was a pretty close ball. That one is 1-2 now.
That one just off the plate, maybe a little bit over the belt.
Just a little bit. I was going to get him with the frame here. Here's the 1-2. And that one is hit to right field. He's going to make the catch for the out. CJ Dugan getting the catch for the out. And so now it is quickly 2 gone here at the top of the 3rd inning. And here comes Connor Aramis Romero.
Romero made some spectacular plays on a very slow, and I talked to some of the players before the game, very slow infield in Olean.
Yes.
That all-grass experience?
That all-grass experience as the first pitch was below the knees for a ball. So the 1-0 pitch. He fouls one behind the plate. Now it's even count, 1-1. That one hit off the catcher at home plate.
Yeah, Delanto. I mean, that's what a catcher does. Catchers and hockey goalies are definitely a different breed.
Got to be tough behind the plate. That one is line drive, but fouled. And so now it'll be 1-2 again.
I gotta say, the last 2 years I sat where you sat. And I dealt with that, having to lean to look at left field. It's kind of nice to just be able to follow the ball.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad about that whatsoever.
You do have the best seat in the house, as it is called ball.
I wonder where that one missed.
I mean, he really wanted to swing at that one. It's pretty tall.
Castillo is bringing a power fastball here tonight, too. A lot of extra zip.
That one is outside, and so now it is 3-2, and you don't want to lose them, especially when you had as good as a start as Jack Castillo did in this at-bat, starting out 1-2. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and that one misses for ball 4, and so Romero is going to go on first, and that will bring up Connor O'Mara.
Second walk of the ball game for Castillo, and I don't look at that as a negative at all. I mean, those pitches that were not called strikes were very close around the zone.
Yeah, I gotta say, I gotta agree with you. I don't really see that as a negative either. I mean, just look at the scoreboard; it's still 0-0. I say just focus on the batter. He laid down a bunt but had to pull back. That one was inside. For a ball, that one was coming up at his face.
And if I had to guess on the velocity, I would say probably 92.
That was really fast. I'm glad he was able to pull back. That would have been, oh boy.
That would not have been something that we wanted to see.
Now the 1-0. And that one is hit to second. Throws to JRC, and he gets the out, and the side is retired. So only one walk, and that'll be it for the Olean Oilers. As we will come back, Dugan Kiefer and Matthew Dumas will be up.
Jackson Ross back on the mound, continuing to throw for the Oilers. He will face Tito Kiefer, Matthew Dumas at the top of the order for Grant Moore. And here to tell you about it is Jalen Ferguson.
Thank you, the legendary Dre, as Tito Kiefer is up to bat. As he watches the first pitch strike, and it is quickly 0-1. And I'm just willing to see how he does with the bat in his hand.
Dugan off to a bit of a slow start at the plate, but again, it is early in the season, so no need to press the panic button.
Yes. As that one misses for ball one. And it's 1-1.
There is action down in the Jamestown bullpen. I'm wondering if Castillo's day is done.
And that one called strike. It's pretty close. A little outside, but that caught the zone. So now it's 1-2. He's going to have to do some protecting here if he wants to stay in this at-bat. So he hits that one down the right field line, foul. And so we'll do it again. It's 1-2.
Going a little opposite field there.
Yes, the wind has died down just a little bit.
A little bit. Those flags are dangling straight down. Maybe 1 mile an hour.
And he watches one for a backwards K. CJ Dumas is down for the first out of the inning. That will bring up Tito Kiefer.
No, that was Tito Kiefer.
That was Tito Kiefer. So that would bring up Matthew Dumas.
Yep. You got this. You had the same thing I had going on. Just to play behind.
Yes.
600 on the season early on so far.
It's the first pitch for him. It was inside but low for a ball. Tito Kiefer, really good middle infielder. Also shows his speed on the base path as well. It's the 1-0 pitch. And again, down low in the dirt for ball two.
And Dumas had that RBI double that repadded the lead. It was 6-5 against Olean at that point.
Yeah. So 2-0, and that misses. So it'll be 3 balls, no strikes. And this is a very good bat that Kiefer has for himself, or Dumas. And that one called strike. Just threw him something down the middle.
Yeah, probably had the red light on, just seeing if Ross would do him the favor and put him on base for free.
So here he goes. And he draws a walk. So now you have some run. You have somebody on first. And that one will bring up Grant Moore.
You've got a speedster on first and a speedster at the dish. And I think that's why Dumas batting 10th in the lineup is really just to put pressure and more speed out there. Not because Dumas isn't a great hitter. It's just because it's the strategic advantage of that 10th hitter.
As he watches one for a ball, as you saw that the catcher popped up, thought that Dumas was going to go. And like you said, yes, you took the words out of my mouth. I don't think that Dumas is a bad hitter. It's just because when you're going back to the top of the lineup, you want somebody on base. He fouls one off to the left or to the right side. So it's 1-1.
Yeah, I didn't think you thought he was a bad hitter. It's just, the perception in baseball is that the hitters in the bottom third of the order, 7, 8, 9, aren't necessarily the marquee guys. And in this league, because of that 10th hitter, the way that the lineups can be structured is not the case.
Oh, and they got him in a pickoff situation. Throws to second, and the throw is offline, and he is safe. Dumas is safe at second. So now Grant Moore has somebody in scoring position. And that's the thing with stealing on a lefty is that he can just throw from standing. They cut him in a pickoff situation, but the throw to second was offline.
He dodged a bullet, but I got to wonder if Painter was actually going to be able to get, even if the throw was accurate, I'm not sure they would have gotten him.
No.
It would have been close.
Very close. That one is called strike. So now it's 1-2. Grant Moore is going to have to do some protecting here if he wants to drive that runner home. Like you said, yes, I think that Dumas would be able to contort his body to be able to miss the tag if he got to second. As he fouls one off behind the plates, it will do 1-2 again. I gotta say, that's what you want out of your leadoff hitter. You want him to protect and extend this at bats any way you can.
And fight.
Yes.
You know, just hang in that at bat.
Because then you're going to run up the pitcher's pitch count. He gives Dumas a look at second. And that one was inside for a ball. Grant Moore had to move out of the way of that.
And they charged Jack Painter an error. So Dumas moving over on the air, or as a result of.
So 2-2. Dumas at second and one away here. As he fouled that one off behind the plate and was reaching for the ball.
And this is where Grant Moore really excels, being able to extend the at-bat, being able to protect that plate, work himself in a good position. Conversely, looking over at Romero at short, he's doing a great job at keeping Dumas humble near the bag at second.
Yes, I am glad he made contact. Made him stretch and reach at that pitch.
Huge hole on the left side, though.
He hits that one, and that one is through. And Dumas coming around. The throw is not in time. Dumas is going to come around to score. And Grant Moore is gifted an RBI single. So now the Tarp Skunks lead 1-0 at the bottom of the third.
That's a great piece of situational hitting. Exactly what I was talking about, being able to extend the at-bat and set up for the next one. He got it right past the reach of Painter at first. Dumas with that speed coming in to score.
So now it will be Blake Herman. Again, very heavy on the speed because Blake Herman can also be a problem on the base path, as that one was in the dirt for ball one.
And now the question that you really want to take a look at is how will Jaxson Ross be able to come back from that? Is that going to rattle him, or is he going to be able to lock back down?
It's like what I said in the last game. After the grand slam, the Oilers came back, picked off to first. He's not in time as he beats the throw and safe. But after the grand slam, they were able to fight back and make it a one-score game for most of the game. Now 1-0, a decent lead by Grant Moore. That one was outside for ball two.
And with that one, you could kind of see Ross's head not completely locked in on the plate, almost like he was trying to keep more in his peripheral vision as he was releasing that pitch.
Yeah, he kind of delayed it just a little bit. That was a late call, but it's called strike. Very close. So now it's 2-1.
Tarp Skunks have yet to trail this season.
That is very impressive. 2-1. And that one, it's a wild pitch. But Grant advances. Would that be scored a pass ball?
No, that would be a wild pitch because that was in the dirt before it got to the pitcher.
So now Blake Herman has a good count of 3-1 and a runner on second with one out. Very good position right here.
Same situation that Moore was in.
That one is low and in the dirt as he will be gifted a base on the walk. And now the manager for the Oilers are coming out to talk to the pitcher. They don't have anybody in the bullpen warming up, so he's going to be talking to him.
Yeah, again, we were wondering, how is Ross going to react after the base hit by Moore? And since then, he's been a little bit wild on the outer part of the plate, away from right-handed hitters. Now, he's going to have an interesting test because now he's got a left-handed hitter that he's going to be throwing into.
It's Caleb Jordan. Rounded out to first. His last at bat. I'm just willing to see what he does. I think he's still yet to get a hit this season, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he has a couple hits. I'll go back and check, but yeah, I think he came in with I think a 400 average.
See how he does in this at bat. So that one is in the dirt for a ball. It gave Grant Moore 2 looks, so it'll be 1-0. Yep.
And we're back now to Jackson Ross finally having elevation problems.
Yes. It was the problem with him in the last game against the Tarp Skunks. As the 1-0 was in the dirt, misses. That will be ball 2, and there will be action in the Oilers bullpen. Not sure what number that is. We'll check back with that later.
Yeah, one thing, Olean's been snake bit by Jamestown, where they will get those big innings out of nowhere.
The 2-0, Ross giving Grant Moore a couple of looks, stepping off. Just a little throw. It's back to the shortstop. Just want to keep him at bay.
No. Ross, got to be careful not to balk. These umpires will call it. We've seen it a few times over the last couple of seasons. They will call it.
Just got to make sure you actually do step off.
Yeah.
Goes the 2-0. That one was pretty close. So it's 3-0.
And it looked like Moore thought about stealing. Herman took off halfway to second base and realized that Moore was still there, and so he had to hightail it back.
I've seen him do a double steal. Could be a possibility.
On a 3-0, might not be a bad idea.
So he threw it back, and it was up. It makes the tag, and he's safe.
And Romero having a little bit of a chat with him.
He's probably telling him, just focus on the batter.
He's rattled. You can see he's rattled. After Moore got that base hit, a lot of that confidence went away.
Yes.
And he's been all around the plate.
He's not doing too bad. He only given up 1. That one finds the zone for a strike, so 3-1.
That's a gotta-have-it strike. Otherwise, you're looking at the fours full of skunks.
That was a big thing in Saturday's game. 3-2 in bases loaded situations. Swings and misses. So it'll be 3-2, full count, just like I said.
I think they set a record with 7 consecutive full counts just in that bottom of the first inning alone.
That is amazing. You don't see that every day. As they throw it back to the shortstop, but Grant Moore is in time.
Every time you go to the park, you're going to see something you've never seen before. And going 3-2, 7 consecutive batters, definitely on that list.
There's 3-2, and he hits that one that's popped up 2 to Aiden Calburn. So now, with 2 outs, that will bring up Paul Delanto.
Yeah, infield fly rule on that one. And, Jordan's going to want that one back. He just missed it by a quarter of an inch off the barrel.
I thought he was going to foul it off, but it stayed up there. Calburn was able to make the catch, so now Delanto's in a difficult situation. But 1 on scoring position, 1 on first, And with 2 outs,
Is Delanto in a difficult position or is Ross in a difficult position?
we can make the argument for either or if Delanto's able to put it into the gap. The first pitch of the at-bat is called strike.
Taking a look, outfield playing pretty much straight away. Infield playing normal now with 2 down.
And Delanto, he has shown that he can hit it opposite field. He has that power. He checks on second. That one was down the middle for a strike. So now it is 0-2. And you can hear the Oilers getting fired up. Starting off in that bat with 0-2 can bring some confidence back into Ross.
Delanto's been leaving that bat on his shoulder this at bat. He's going to have to protect here.
So there goes the 0-2. Both stealing. Down in the dirt. No throw. That will be a double steal. So now you have Grant Moore at third and Herman at second. And Delanto behind in the count, but he has 2 in scoring position.
Base hit gives the Tarp Skunks the crooked number that they need. We know Olean can score.
So now 1-2. That one is inside, and Delanto draws, or he thought he drew a walk.
Oh, he
Or
thought he
got
hit
hit.
him. He tried to sell it. Home plate umpire not buying.
So now it'll be 2-2.
Now we're going to get a little bit of a discussion with the umpire and Joe Riedebach.
I think Joe might have thought he got hit.
Paulie thought he got hit. Joe thought he got hit. Home plate umpire, not so much.
So now it will be 2-2. Grant at third, Herman at second.
And to be honest, if I'm Ross, I'd kind of hoping I'm hitting him so I could go after Dugan with the bases loaded, get the force at any base.
And that was a good cut, but he gets out of the jam. Ross gets out of the jam. And so it will be Grant Fournier to lead it off.
Top of the 4th inning coming up. We'll be back. Back here at Diethrick Park, new pitcher for the Tarp Skunks is going to be Cohen Harris, the returning pitcher from last season, coming in his first appearance on the season, and he will face 1-2-3 for the Oilers. Fournier, Vercoloni, and Radice, and here to tell you all about it is Jalen Ferguson.
Thank you again. Really like how things are moving along here.
Yeah, we're just at the 1 hour mark. We're at the top of the fourth inning. Saturday, we were just finishing the first.
That was a pretty long first inning. First pitch for Harris, and that one misses. Grant Fournier.
Grounded out to first. Taken to the bag unassisted by JRC to lead off the game.
Here goes the 1-0. That one misses outside for a ball.
For Harris comes in featuring a fastball, slider, and a curvy, slurvy curveball.
I'd like to see how that one is implemented in this game. The 2-0. That one misses. So first batter he sees, and he quickly falls behind 3-0. He's going to have to breeze something past him on the 3-0 count to find the strike zone. And that one misses. So Grant Fournier is going to reach via the base on balls, and that will bring up Connor Vercoloni.
Yeah, third walk issued by Tarp Skunks pitching today. Jack Castillo going 3 innings, walking 3, striking out 2.
I mean, he still was pretty impressive, putting up, wasn't able to give up any runs in his outing. Harris giving Fournier a look. That one is strike.
And there's your little slurvy curveball. Well, more of a slider, I think, but that slider had some slurve movement to it. I don't know. It's hard to see coming out of his hand, but it definitely had some run tailing away from the hitter.
As he throws back to first. Be safe.
Yeah, not even close. More of just a I see you over there than a pickoff attempt.
But usually the leadoff hitter has speed. He has a lead there.
Very modest. Not too far off the bag.
As that pitch was low in the dirt, so it would be 1-1.
You can see the shot. Not a big lead.
Not a big lead. It's not doing that much dancing like the Tarp Skunks do. So that one is also low in the dirt. It's 2-1.
And Harris struggling to find the zone. You have to wonder if nerves are settling in a little bit here.
This is his first time pitching this season. As that one is hit, and a little bit of communication problems, and he's safe at first. And Harris and JRC was having some problems trying to figure out whose ball that was. Harris taking it, but could not beat him out.
Yeah, it was, it was definitely a communication issue. Harris went for it, JRC went for it. Tito Kiefer did not wheel over to first base, so that gave Vercoloni an open path.
So that would bring up Anthony Radice. As that one is hit, and that one is through for a base hit. And Grant Fournier comes around, and the Oilers take a 1-1, or they tie the game at 1-1 with that base hit. One thing I noticed is that the second baseman, He was looking at second. That's why that hole was wide open for that.
Yeah, a little opposite field hitting there. Blake Herman doing a great job coming in as the cutoff man, holding the runner at second. So instead of runners at the corners, still first and second, nobody out.
Well, that brings up DH Derek Stott.
See if Harris can stem the bleeding here.
That one is up and away for a ball. And Harris, that's not what you want in your first go. You got traffic on the base path and with no outs. And JRC is in the grass. And that one is hit. And that one gets through. And Connor Vercoloni is going around third, and he's going to come home. And just like that, the Oilers take a 2-1 lead here in the top of the fourth.
Well, the Oilers have been able to adjust to the difference in speed. You have to give credit to Jordan. Jordan was kind of caught in no man's land. The ball hit a little bit too sharply for him to go after it, and with Herman playing in double play depth, there was really no chance he was going to be able to get that, as we got a meeting at the mound now.
I mean, yeah, you kind of need that meeting. I mean, 2 runs have scored, and it has been one on second and first for 2 batters.
And this is the first time the Tarp Skunks have trailed this season.
That really does show a lot about the Tarp Skunks, or how they are able to score. So now up to bat is Thomas Bates. That one catches the zone for a strike. It is 1-0 the count.
Looks like there is action in the Tarp Skunks bullpen. Not sure if I can get the number from here or not. Nothing doing in the Olean pen.
So 0-1. That one is outside for a ball. And I don't really know if Harris is going to be able to finish this inning. Let's hope he does with minor damage.
Well, nothing has been really hit hard off of them.
But they are hitting where they need to hit it. They're hitting it in those spots. As that one catches the zone, and it is 1-2. So now hopefully he can build off of this ahead in the count, Harris. Hopefully he can get the first out of the inning.
Double play would be nice.
And we've seen them turn too before. And he swings and misses. And so Bates is retired. That will bring up the first baseman, Jack Painter.
We'll take the strikeout.
Like you said, the double play possibility would get us out of the inning.
Jack Painter grounded out to the pitcher his first time up, who took it all the way to the bag himself. A little jack-on-jack crime. Jack Painter, Jack Castillo.
And that one is a ball. Good job by Delanto being able to block it and keep it in front of him. So now it's 1-0 that counts. Radice at second and Stott at first. So he gives Radice a look. And that one is low. So it's 2-0 the count.
Well, Harris needs to find that zone like he did in the last at bat.
One thing about the Oilers is that they are good at changing the hitters, interchanging from righty to lefty. So here goes the 2-0. And that one catches the zone for a strike.
And it looks like Harris has kind of backed off his fastball a little bit, going more with that off speed, the slider, and that slurve.
So now it's 2-1 the count. Got to fight back. Gives Radice a look. And that one's fouled behind the plate. And now it's 2-2 the count.
Yeah, if that wasn't a home run rip, I don't know what was.
He did take a good cut at that hit, or that ball. Fortunately, he got under it and fouled behind the plate.
Radice almost swinging out of his shoes there.
And swings and misses. And so they're quickly 2 away. And that brings up Cooper Tarley.
Nice rebound by Harris with the back-to-back strikeouts.
And Painter thought it was a drop third, but it was a guy on first.
We're going to have to get our sun shields off early. Sun settling behind the hills a little bit. Lights starting to take effect here.
Yeah, there's some shadows here and some shadows out in the outfield. The first pitch was out. A good job by Delanto being able to stay with the ball, stop it from going behind the plate. It's a 1-0.
Inning started strong for the Oilers and now has settled down a little bit. Harris trying to get out of this one.
He's getting towards the bottom of the lineup here. That one misses inside for a ball. It's 2-0. Trying to fix the scoreboard out and right.
I'm surprised ours is right just because I keep forgetting to push the buttons half the time.
It's 2-0. That one is up. That one almost hit him. Backed away. So now it's 3-0. And what you don't want if you're Harris is the bases loaded.
You have to wonder, is the take sign going to be on here? Is he going to get the green light on 3-0?
That's 3-0 pitch. That one catches the zone. That will be the first strike of this at-bat.
Well, that also answered the question. He definitely had the red light. See if Harris was going to be able to find the strike zone again.
I noticed that Tarley wanted to throw the bat. He thought that was going to be ball 4. But now standing in at a 3-1 count. So there he goes. And that one is up and misses the zone. It'll be ball 4. I thought Delanto was going to check on Harris again, but that will bring up the third baseman, Aiden Calburn.
Well, Blake Herman's going to go over there and talk to Harris.
Yeah, I think you're right. It is the first game jitters for him because a lot of the players have talked to Harris.
No, Herman and Harris played here last year together. There's definitely some chemistry, definitely a friendship there.
That's the good thing. You want friendships on a baseball club that builds chemistry. There goes the 0-0 pitch to Aiden Calburn. And that one hit him, and a run is going to come in to score. It will be Anthony Radice. And so now the Oilers are up 3-1. And that one hit Calburn in the elbow.
Painful way to get an RBI, and that is going to be all for Cohen Harris, as Riedebach has seen enough. We're going to take a break as we'll get the new pitcher when we come back. Line drive down the third base line. That's a fair ball. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Herman will stop at second with a double and 2 RBIs. And we will wait to see. And that
It'll
is
be
gonna
number
do it.
17.
That is
We'll
your
give
ball
his name in a
game.
minute.
As the Jamestown Tarp Skunks mercy the Olean Oilers by a final score of 13-3.
And it'll be Almonte, the pitcher for the Tarp Skunks.
There's a high fly ball right field deep. That one is going way back, and it is gone! A grand slam for Paul Delanto. Welcome to the Skunks. Touch 'em all, Paul. It's 6-0 Tarp Skunks.
And that is the start that you want. You cannot ask for a better start. Putting up 6 in the first inning.
New pitcher for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is going to be number 17, Rocco Almonte, 6'5", 215 pounds, out of Erie, Pennsylvania. His first appearance on the season, and he's got himself a jam to work out of.
He's going up against the shortstop Aramis Romero. And that one, his first pitch is outside for a ball. You say he's in a jam, but again, you just need one out to get out of the inning here. So here comes the 1-0, and again misses outside.
And that had some movement trailing to the outside out of his hand.
He was trying to make him chase at that one.
Maybe not the right time to have to go chase.
Well, you just want to get out of the inning. That one is down in the dirt. And that'll be 3 balls, no strikes. And again, we're starting to see some emblems of what happened on Saturday. It's those 3-0 counts. The 3-0. And that one catches the zone for a ball. Or catches the zone for a strike.
3 hits here in the inning. 3 runs, a hit by pitch, and a walk.
Just trying to get out of the inning. That one is hit down the left field line, fouled. So now he's got himself a full count here.
And everybody's going to be in motion. Delanto calling out the signals.
Nobody, there's a force at any base. Just throw to any base and it'll be an out. So 3-2. Romero at the plate. And that one is hit deep to left. And he'll make the catch for the out. Three outs. 3 runners, 3 outs. No errors. And we'll bring it back here after this.
Back here in the bottom of the fourth inning, 3-1 Oilers with the lead. And here to tell you about the bottom of the fourth is Jalen.
Thank you. That first pitch was a ball. So the second pitch, and that one is in the dirt. So now count is 2-0.
As it's Lindquist, Dixon, and JRC due up. Jackson Ross still in the ball game. He's got himself a bit of a lead here.
I guess he only gave up one. And Lindquist swings and misses. So now it's 2-1 the count. And if I'm the Tarp Skunks, you would have to put the ball in play and try to narrow this lead as much as possible. As that one misses out and away. 3-1.
This one, I think the biggest thing that they're trying to do is get into the bullpen.
Yes, like you said, there will be action in the Oilers bullpen as we'll figure out what number that is.
I don't know, but they got a sidearmer out there.
As Lindquist draws a walk. So that's a good way to start out your way to narrow this lead. So here comes James Dixon, the DH.
Dixon got robbed of a single back in the second inning on a spectacular play.
That was a great play by Tarley. Really was able to get on his horse on that one and make a diving catch.
Looking for a opportunity to move Lindquist over.
As James Dixon fouls that one off behind the plate. I'm looking at that guy in the bullpen. Like you said, sidearm. That's going to be really hard to hit against that. I remember in high school, I had a pitcher who was a sidearm, and I couldn't even swing at that.
Well, sidearm, yeah.
He swings and misses. Dixon is quickly behind 0-2.
I was going to say the sidearmer brings a smile to my face. I'm a sidearm thrower myself. I can't throw overhand. And, I appreciate any pitcher that can bring an arm angle from the 45-degree vertical.
That one misses outside for a ball. 1-2.
Or make that 90 degrees. 45 would be like the three-quarter release. Again, I did not graduate geometry. I could barely balance my checkbook.
1-2 pitch. Lindquist at first. That one misses for a ball. I used to throw sidearm when I was a pitcher. But then I hurt my arm doing that, so then I had to change how I threw and threw it a little bit overhand.
That's actually how I started throwing sidearm. I hurt my arm throwing overhand.
And that one catches the zone, and Dixon watches it for a strike. And so now it is one out, and that brings up JRC.
JRC still looking for his first hit of the season. Has a good opportunity here with Lindquist off first.
Has gotten on base a couple times, so. That one misses for a ball, and it's 1-0 to JRC.
Yeah, once via a walk, once via a hit by pitch.
It's not all zeros for him.
I didn't say it was. I said he was looking for his first hit.
That one misses. Very aggressive lead by Lindquist. I saw his secondary lead. He was almost halfway there.
It's very uncharacteristic from Lindquist to have that kind of a lead off first.
That one misses in the dirt, and now JRC is ahead in the count 3-0. Again, the discipline from JRC, being able to work the count to his favor.
Ross was able to work the strikeout on a much shorter Dixon. The strike zone expands on JRC, and he's missed the whole thing.
Through the first on time, but yeah, it's different. Different-handedness. JRC is a lefty. That could be a factor. Lindquist. Ross throws to first and walks JRC, and so now one in scoring position and one on first, and that brings up CJ Dugan.
Dugan grounded out to third, and that might actually be the end of the night for Ross. As the coach coming out, he's getting the congratulations and handshakes around. Good effort tonight by Jackson Ross. So far, 3 1/3. He's responsible for the 2 runners. We'll be back with a new pitcher after this. New pitcher for the Olean Oilers is going to be Bryson Hewer, redshirt senior, right-handed pitcher, 6 foot 195, out of Charleston Southern College, called Strattonville, Pennsylvania home. Side armor comes in with 2 on, and he's going to face CJ Dugan.
You know, CJ, really good right fielder. So he watches the first pitch. That one misses for ball 1. Lindquist at second, JRC at first. I'm willing to see how these players do against a sidearm like this. So that one catches the zone for a strike, and it's 1-1.
Maybe a little on the submarine side, too. Ball drops well under his release angle when he brings it up from that sidearm release.
It's pretty tough. So the 1-1. That one comes in and hits him. So now we have a force full of Skunks, as it is bases loaded. That will bring up Tito Kiefer, the second baseman.
And I will allow you using Forceful of Skunks. That is a trademarked phrase, at least in the depths of my mind, but I will let you use it.
I now owe Dre Guinness $1,000 for using his trademark.
Nah, I like you, so you can steal all my stuff all you want.
So bases loaded, and the first pitch is a strike. And Tito Kiefer is now 0-1.
Bit of that sidearm run heading toward the right side of the plate.
That's some of the difficulties I've seen from sidearm is that you tend to throw a little inside when it comes to righties. That one is hit back up the middle, tosses to the catcher, throws to first, and they get out. 3 left on with no hits. It's the bottom of the 4th inning. It is still a 3-1 score. We'll be back after this.
Degrees, no wind. Line drive down the third base line. That's a fair ball. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Herman will stop at second with a double and 2 RBIs. And we will wait to see. And that is going to do it. That is your ball game as the Jamestown Tarp Skunks mercy the Olean Oilers by a final score of 13-3. There's a high fly ball right field deep. That one is going way back, and it is gone! A grand slam for Paul Delanto. Welcome to the Skunks. Touch 'em all, Paul. It's 6-0 Tarp Skunks.
And that is the start that you want. You cannot ask for a better start. Putting up 6 in the 1st inning.
Back here at Diethrick Park as 10-1-2, 2 up for the Tarp Skunks. There's a bunt that is going to be attempted, the bare hand stab at third, but Connor O'Mara able to get on with the leadoff bunt. And the leadoff hitter on, that's going to go back to the top of the order for Grant Fournier, as welcoming into the booth Jake Burlingame, the recruiting coordinator, assistant coach for Canisius College. Welcome in.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And, you know, I think we have to thank you for the, I guess, the Canisius connection that we've got going on here between Canisius and the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. As a snap throw over to first and JRC able to snag it. So, you know, talk to me about, I mean, we've got how many guys up from Canisius here? 5, 6?
We got, I think, 3 right now and 1 more coming.
Yeah. Bremner
Yep.
was a huge part of the team last year. Eric Weeks arriving today. Grant Moore and Blake Herman, who has been a firecracker so far to start the season.
Yeah, those guys are great. You know, and they had a good time here last year, the 3 of them that were here. You know, we added Grant Moore here last year, and I think that, you know, they're all great players, and we're glad to send them down here because we know that they get to play, they get some good development, and this is a great place for them to come and you know, host them and develop as baseball players.
So talk to me a little bit about, you know, when you have players that are playing at your college that are going to come and play in summer ball for a season, you know, what kind of expectations do you put on them? What's the communication that you have with them to get them prepped not only for their summer season, but to keep themselves healthy and ready to come in for, you know, the next season?
Yeah, I think a lot of it depends on, you know, what they did in the season for us, especially when it comes to position players. It's always good to get more at-bats. You know, you can't become a better hitter without actually hitting, and, you know, you do that in the game. So getting those guys at bats is always good, and we want guys to play fearless out there, and summer ball is a time for them to go and kind of discover parts of their game that they might not get to really explore during the season, and they just learn more about themselves, and the guys that we find, the guys that go and play summer ball in competitive leagues like this, they come back better players for it.
As that one catches the outside corner for a strike, working the count full 3-2. Fournier thought he had himself a walk here. So when you're looking at, and I'm not going to ask about who you're recruiting because that would just be breaking every rule in the book. But when you are looking to recruit a player, whether it's position player, whether it's a pitcher, what are the kind of things that you're looking for? Is that one down low for a ball, and that's going to put runners at first and second with nobody out?
Yeah, I think with anybody in the program, whether it's a high school kid that we're looking to bring in or potential transfer, there's a couple things that stand out, and one is, just their mindset and how they go about their business, who they are as people. That's massive to our program, and you want to bring in the right people. That's one of the biggest parts of it. And then obviously you're looking at the athlete themselves and what do they do really well. What kind of ceiling do they have? What's their floor? Different skill sets.
Ball in the dirt, runner advancing from second to third, and the throw not in time. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, good. Different skill sets that they might bring to the team, and just ways that they can impact your program both on the field and off the field from leadership perspectives and different things like that.
One of the things that I really wanted to ask you about, because it's something that I talk about on a podcast that I do during the week, and as well as, thinking about teams and putting things together. We had Ben Slanker here last year in the NIL program, and the transfer portal. And the transfer portal, there's a drive into left field. Dumas on his horse going back, making the catch, tagging and coming in to score is O'Mara, and it is 4-1. So the transfer portal. We talked about we saw a lot the effect that it had in football with the college national championships in Indiana and everything. We're seeing that effect also in baseball. How has the transfer portal really affected recruiting and player retention throughout the season?
I think it all depends on, what does your program value? And I think, what are you looking for? A lot of times, and I can talk to this really from how we can approach it, not necessarily for other programs, but we look to bring in guys who, as I mentioned earlier, that are going to impact our program and make positive impacts, and that really can stem from a lot of different avenues. But the way that the portal can work is you get to fill holes quicker, potentially. So obviously it can also create holes for you. So there's definitely a dynamic there that is a little bit of a back and forth.
Line drive down the third base line. That is a fair ball and is going to go for extra bases. Dumas digging it out of the corner, coming around third, and in to score is Fournier, and the Oilers have extended that lead. It's now 5-1 on the one-out double.
But back to the portal, it definitely changes the landscape of recruiting. And it can make it tougher for people to. There's just a lot more competition, I would say. That's kind of the thing that changes, is you've got more ways to bring people into the program, and you can bring in older guys who make an impact potentially quicker because of the experience they have, or you get to choose to bring in younger guys who can grow and develop in your program, and you need a little bit of a mix of both.
So can anyone enter the portal at any time during the season? Is there a cutoff? And obviously if you're a coach and you see someone that wants to get in the transfer portal, you have to kind of think, what did I do that put him in this position, or is this just a better thing for him, or how does that work?
Yeah, so there's a window that people can enter the portal in. It's not open throughout the year. And this one, it typically opens right at the end of the seasons for Division 1, 2, and 3 respectively. and then it's open for about a month. And so, as far as determining who goes in it's really, dependent on each individual and what they're looking for, what their expectations are, where they're at. If they, you see some people who go up levels, go down levels, go across schools. It really just depends what they're looking for, and the reason transferring is really up to those guys.
So it's not like there's a free agency period, where you can go out and snag a guy from another college that may jump into the portal in the last second.
No. There's the only time that you can talk to somebody is if they are in the portal.
Derek Stott tried to check his swing, went around home plate umpire making the call, and I got to say that's probably the first time I've actually seen the home plate umpire take the call himself, with the field umpire being on the third base side of the bag. He's not going to be able to see that. There's a ground ball to third, knocked down, picked up, throwing a first in time by a half a step. Good job over there at third by Jordan. Knock it down, pick it up, recover, and get the out. 2 away now. And that is going to bring up Thomas Bates, the second baseman. So tell me, about Canisius. I tried to get up there a couple of times while you guys, because it looked like you had most of your games on the road to start the season, and thankfully for that, because tons of snow, really cold. I bet it was nice to be down in warmer temperatures to get the season started. But every time I tried to get to a game when you guys were in, the truck wouldn't start, flat tire, wife needed the car. I just couldn't get out there,
Well, we would have loved to have you at a game.
Ground ball up the middle. That is a base hit. Runner coming around third. In to score as the throw is cut off at home by JRC, and the Oilers have really opened it up here. It is now 6-1, and Rocco Almonte is having a rocky outing here in his first appearance for the Skunks. Yeah, I would have loved to have got out there, just unfortunately. But do you guys have a program where your games are on either social media, YouTube, local television somewhere?
Yeah, so a lot of our games are either carried on our own Golden Griffin broadcast network that is found on our website, the athletics page. And then there's a good amount of our games that are also on ESPN3 or Watch ESPN channels. So most of our home games are all streamed and on either one of those two platforms.
All right. That is good to know, because I got to admit, I didn't quite put the effort in to look. Car's not available. I'm throwing my keys, and I just want to go get a snack and forget about it. So that one, curveball poured in for a strike, 1-2. But definitely, I will be watching it next season. With Canisius and a bunch of players coming over to play this year, there almost feels like there is kind of a portal between Canisius and Jamestown. Talk about that relationship a little bit, as far as working with Frank Jagoda, bringing other players in, and really keeping that local connection.
Yeah, so you mentioned Frank there, and he's great. We like sending players his way because we know that with his guidance they'll do a great job, and he'll be able to help them develop in their game. But I think I mentioned earlier, like, Jamestown is a great place for these guys to come down and play, and not only play in front of a bunch of fans that is a really cool experience for them, but they get to play a lot of games down here and learn about themselves and develop. And it's everybody who's come down here has come back and reported having a really good time, and that's something that we really strive for them to do in the summer.
As there's another base hit into right field, and now a little bit of the wheels are starting to come off a bit as Rocco Almonte struggling a bit. No action in the Tarp Skunks bullpen, so this is going to be his inning to finish out. Came close, 3-2 count, but yet another base hit. So now runners at first and second, 2 away here. And from a coaching perspective, I mean, Joe Reedabout already been out there, had the conversation. What does that conversation sound like?
As far as
look, you've got to get one out, you have a runner on, you find the zone. How do you talk to a pitcher that is rattled at this point?
well, right now I'm telling them to throw whatever pitch and get them an out. But I think a lot of it has to do with trusting the defense behind you. He's got some bad luck this inning a little bit and just finding some holes, but really you gotta trust your stuff, and sometimes you gotta remember as a pitcher that hitting can be really hard, and you just gotta throw it over the plate, and you'll get that last out that you need.
Do you find that you'll get the pitchers that will feature the fastballs, get ahead in that count 0-1, 0-2, and then instead of going with the velocity and attacking the zone, they switch to a finesse and try to finagle and get those chase pitches on a slow breaking ball away on an 0-2, 1-2 count?
Definitely at times, but one of our things that we talk with our pitchers a lot is just get the at bat over with as fast as you can. Whether it's one pitch, two pitch, if you do get to that 2-strike count, try to put them away as quickly as you can, and it saves you bullets. It gets you outs faster, and you don't get back where hitters climb back into the counts and get to those 2-2, 3-2s. It just makes you throw more pitches. So definitely talk about getting outs as fast as possible.
Almonte in trouble here. Runners at first and second, 2-1, 2 out. Foul straight back, and the count goes even at 2-2. So when your season ends, how much time do you allow before the actual recruitment starts? Do you have, do you already have a pre-prepared list of guys you're looking at, or is that when you start looking at tape and start compiling that list and putting out those feelers?
Yeah, I would say it depends on kind of who it is. Certain guys that, if they're a junior college guy or high school guy, you kind of know who they are ahead of time. When it comes to the transfer portal guys, you don't necessarily know who's going in, so that becomes a little bit more of a, you scout them later. But it all is, it all happens pretty quickly, and some of like the high school prospects and the junior college guys, you can go watch them during their season. And then other times, like if you're looking for guys who do end up in the portal and you want to go see them, games like coming to the PGCBL and stuff like that give you the opportunity to do that.
3-2, 2 down here. Runners at first and second. Almonte trying to get out of the inning here. And the 3-2 pitch. Runners go, and that pitch in the dirt for ball 4. And the bases are loaded. And now we got some chirp in here as the home plate umpire. I heard shut up too. And it's Joe Reedabot coming out, calling to the bullpen, and that is going to be all for Rocco Almonte. Bases loaded situation, new pitcher coming in. We'll be back with the info in just a moment. New pitcher for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is going to be number 16, Joe Santos, left-handed pitcher out of Merrick, New York. Have to update the website. Thank you, Joe, for the info. He comes in and inherits a really difficult situation. 3 runs already across here in the top of the 5th inning. Bases loaded. And Aiden Cowburn standing in. Would like to thank Jake Burlingame for hanging out here with us for half an inning as the first pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. And if you are more interested in getting more information about the Golden Griffins, check out Canisius College on the Google, and it'll take you to the website, get you all the information. And now I have a reason to stream baseball in April from the comfort of my own living room. 2-0.
You know, I watched this inning, and I got to say, I was a little disappointed on the pitch selection.
As Santos blows one past Cowburn, 2-1.
Again, it's the walks that is doing it for them.
So that one taken on the outside, 2-2. Yeah, absolutely. You know, early in the season, everyone gets up to the plate. They get hack happy. They want to swing that bat and, you know, do pitchers favors. And now, turning it around, the pitchers are doing them the favors. 2-2, 2 down. Is a chopper foul at the plate.
Got bases loaded. He's trying to protect as much as he can.
Yep. A little bit of a testy feeling down on the field as there was some chirping before Almonte taken out.
That lead is starting to bring some life back into the Oilers.
There's a chopper towards second. Should be an easy play for Kiefer. Throws on to first. And mercifully, the inning is over. 3 runs on 4 hits. Bases left loaded. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's 6-1 Oilers.
And back to the ballpark here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Dumas, Moore, and Herman up, and here to tell you all about it is Dre Guinness.
All right, thank you very much, Jalen. Dumas takes the first pitch he sees for a strike, 0-1. He walked and came around and scored the Skunks' only run back in the 3rd inning. As Bryson Hewer back on the mound for his 2nd inning of work. First full inning And the sidearm swings, and there's a chopper toward first. Easy glove by Painter, quickly one away.
One thing I'm going to give the Tarp Skunks credit is not like they're getting out via strikeouts. They're putting the ball in play. Unfortunately, you can't really do anything about it once the ball leaves the bat.
Grant Moore, the batter now. He stands in, having a little bit of a cooler night. 1 for 2, struck out. He did single back in the third, drove in Matthew Dumas, so the only RBI on the day. Squares to bunt, takes the first pitch on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. 6 for 9 for Grant Moore to start the season here.
Unfortunately, he didn't pull back on that bunt. It looked outside. I'm pretty sure he would have got the call if he pulled back.
Here comes set. There's a foul straight back. 0-2. Send a shout out to the Computer Den on Fluvanna Avenue. They were able to help take care of a technical problem. And if you're having problems with your computer or looking for new equipment or just repair, check out the Computer Den on Fluvanna. That one fouled back. Still 0-2. Small business. The guy who owns it actually just bought it from the previous owner who retired. So definitely, if you need computer service in the Jamestown area, check out the Computer Den. Ask for Josiah. Grant Moore standing in. 0-2 the count. As Hewer comes set, kicks and throws, and that one fouled straight back. Moore staying alive.
Funny thing is, I didn't see where that ball went. I thought it was into the glove, but then I heard the ball hit something.
A lot of velocity. If Moore can square one up off of that velocity, it's going to go a long way. Swing. And a miss, and Moore goes down on strikes. And quickly, there are 2 down for Blake Herman.
Both Grant Moore and Herman was on the base paths. But see how Herman can get on base with nobody on.
Herman's been on twice, singled and walked. Left-handed hitter or right-handed hitter standing in. And hits a high fly ball. Straightaway center field. Coming in is Fournier, and he puts it away. And the inning is over. Nothing doing for the Skunks. 1, 2, 3. We go to the top of the 6th inning. It's still 6-1 Oilers. Degrees, no wind. Line drive down the third base line. That's a fair ball. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Herman will stop at second with a double and 2 RBIs. And we will wait to see. And that is going to do it. That is your ball game as the Jamestown Tarp Skunks mercy the Olean Oilers by a final score of 13-3. There's a high fly ball right field deep. That one is going way back, and it is gone! A grand slam for Paul Delanto. Welcome to the Skunks. Touch 'em all, Paul. It's 6-0 Tarp Skunks.
And that is the start that you want. You cannot ask for a better start. Putting up 6 in the first inning.
Aiden Gruber is your new Tarp Skunks pitcher, and the Tarp Skunks need him to shoulder the load and eat up some innings here. His first appearance on the season, Olean coming in with a 6-1 lead. And they will face 9-10-1 to start the top of the 6th inning. I'm sorry, I jumped all over your intro.
And here to talk all about it is Trey Guinness.
Yeah, it's been spoiled.
Still had to say it.
Yeah, I don't know. Top of the 6th inning, it is going to be Romero, O'Mara, and Fournier. And we'll see how Gruber does. This is the first pitch over the head of the ducking Romero. And it's 1-0. Romero's walked and flown out to left field as the next pitch comes way outside. 2-0. I'd like to remind you the Tarp Skunks on the road tomorrow against the Batavia Muck Dogs. 6:30 for that one. And then on Thursday in Newark to take on the Pilots. That one up 3-0. On Friday, our first trip across the border to Niagara to take on the Ironbacks. And then back on the United States side of the falls as we go to Niagara Falls on Saturday. Games at Batavia and Niagara Falls will be on the Jamestown Tarp Skunks YouTube page. Newark and Niagara will be on their respective YouTube pages. As Gruber works the count full 3-2 to Romero.
You really want to finish off this at bat.
There's a high pop-up, first base side, drifting toward the fence, but JRC there to glove it for the first outs.
You know, I love how he was able to track that. I was not too sure. It looked like it was going just foul, but JRC was able to get to a spot and get under it for the pop-out.
That'll bring up Connor O'Mara, the extra hitter for the Oilers. One for two on the day. He's grounded out to second, singled and scored the first Oilers run back in the 5th inning. Is that one taken up high for a ball? 1-0.
You really want to stop this momentum. Went 2 straight innings, and the Oilers put up 3 in both innings.
There's a check swing foul off just to the left of us. And nobody hurt in the making of that foul ball. So it goes to 1-1.
Checked his swing on that foul because once that ball went off the bat, he didn't swing all the way around.
Next pitch, way outside, 2-1 to the left-hander.
You know, usually when it gets darker, it gets colder, it still feels a little good.
65 degrees currently. Game started at 70. Is that one up high, and the count goes to 3-1. Yeah, you know, the nice thing about here as opposed to, you know, and this is not a knock on Olean, it's just a, you know, matter of geography. Olean has a lot of hills and a lake on it, so when that sun goes down, the temperature dropped 20 degrees. Is that one up high for a ball and a one-out walk? It's going to bring up the top of the order for Grant Fournier. And this copyrighted broadcast of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is presented by authority of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks and is intended for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmissions of the use, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is prohibited. 1 on, 1 out here. Top of the 6th inning as the top of the order coming up for the Oilers. Grant Fournier. Snap throw over to first, not in time.
And Elmira had a lot of movement in that lead. Like you said, a lot of people that are in the 10 spot tend to be fast instead of momentum for the first.
It's like having two top-of-the-order hitters as the pitch swung on a missed. 1-1 the count.
I like how you put that, two top of the first hitter, or two leadoff hitters, one at the bottom and one at the top.
Make it 0-1. I attributed the snap throw to first as a ball. I gotta stop doing that. That one up and in, 2-1.
Had to back off of that one, but he did put a lot of mustard into that one.
Yep. Or make it 1-1. See, now I'm ahead. How that? Maybe I'm calling the game from one pitch in the future. 1-1 the count. One out here. Gruber kicks and throws, comes up and in again. Now it's 2-1.
Saw Gruber a little bit of a slide step on that one. Maybe he was anticipating a steal.
O'Mara, one step off the first base cutout and the pitch. That one misses again. 3-1. 3 straight pitches up and in on the left-handed hitter Fournier.
Or maybe that's just how he does it in the stretch. When you have somebody at first. It did look like a slide step.
I want to take a half a step toward the third base side of the rubber. Give yourself a little bit more of a window to get that strike zone. This is a throw over to first. Good stop by JRC. And O'Mara back in safely.
You gotta shorten out that step any way you can. You don't want to give the runner on first any more time to steal.
We've already had one runner thrown out trying to steal here. As that one swung on and missed. Almost in the same location, 3-2.
Saw 2 heaters. So he was probably sitting on a fastball. He was waiting for it.
Crowd getting into it here a little bit. Trying to will on Gruber as the runner goes. Pitch taken for ball 4. Doesn't matter. That's the throw down to second. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, my face lit up after that throw, but then you told me that it didn't matter. It was ball 4. If it did matter, he would have been out.
Well, they're going to find out eventually. Tarp Skunks catcher's not easy to actually swipe bags on. With 1 on, 2 out. Or 2 on, 1 out. It's going to bring up Vercoloni. It's walked, singled, and flown out. And the first pitch to him, cut on and missed. Power versus power, challenge fastball, and Gruber wins battle number 1. 0-1 the count.
Vercoloni was 1 for 3 against the Muck Dogs through 2 nights ago.
That pitch misses for a ball, 1-1.
You start to hear the Oilers' dugout. I think that putting up 6 runs really brought the spark back.
Definitely brought it back a little bit. Having a win over Batavia and then coming in here with some momentum's definitely been a good thing. As that one's outside, 2-2.
And you're right, like I say,
2-1.
Like I said, baseball is about momentum. You win one game, but then you win twice. It's the start of a streak. Baseball is a very streaky sport.
Streaks and superstitions. That's what makes baseball great. 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Vercoloni again salivating at that challenge fastball, unable to catch up to it.
And he swung and chased at that one. That was a little below the knees. He really wanted that one.
Gruber comes set, checks the runner at second, and the pitch. Up high, missing, 3-2.
Once again, 3-2, and that's what we've been talking about is these 3-2 counts, because not only that, you run up the pitcher's pitch count. And on top of that, it's either base hit or ball 4.
Vercoloni waiting. Gruber gets the sign. And the pitch. That one missing outside for a ball. And now the bases are loaded with only one out, and the heart of the order for the Oilers coming up. And here comes Joe Rittebach. No action in the Tarp Skunks bullpen, so this is going to be a calm down, this is your ball game situation. Just attack the zone. You can see him kind of giving them instruction, maybe a little mechanical issue.
I mean, they're only down by 5. They can still, there's still plenty of innings to come back and get back into this ball game. We've seen them put up 5 in an inning before. I mean, they put up 6 on Wednesday or on Saturday against the Oilers.
Home plate umpire going to break up the conversation as the catcher Anthony Radice steps in. He has struck out, singled, and doubled, scored twice, and has driven in 2 runs. He has been the spark plug for the Oilers here in the middle of the order here tonight. And now he will face Aiden Gruber with the bases loaded. And 1 out here. Top of the 6th inning from Jamestown. 6-1 Oilers with the lead.
There's been so many times in this ball game where they just needed to get out of the inning.
And the first pitch. Taken on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1 the count.
Again, putting some heat on those. And he found the best spot.
And maybe the mechanical glitch that Coach Rittebach saw, Gruber able to fix, finds the strike zone on the first pitch. 0-1 the count. From the set. Fouled. Backing out of play off to the right. 0-2.
So look at that, how they were quickly be able to get ahead in the count 0-2. However, we've seen so many times where they have a good start with 0-2 and then completely falls off the rails and turn into a 3-2 situation. So hopefully he can avoid that and get it out.
Simple adjustment might be the difference in this inning here. 0-2 the count. And the pitch. Line drive over the head of Rodriguez Costa at first, and a base hit. 2 runs are going to come in to score. The cutoff to throw into third is not in time, as the Oilers put 2 more across, and it is now 8-1.
Yeah, JRC, that one was just hit right above him. He doesn't really have that vertical jump on that one. It got over his head, and just like that, 2 more runs score, and now the Oilers are now up 8-1.
And for Anthony Radice, RBI is 3 and 4 on the day.
And if you're the Tarp Skunks, you do not want to give up 3 more runs.
First and third. First pitch to Stott is taken outside for a ball, 1-0. And yeah, you bring up an unfortunate point here. You know, the Tarp Skunks mercied Olean on Friday. And you got to think that that might be in the back of their head a little bit.
It would be a little ironic or poetic coming into opening day and getting mercied.
That one coming up and in, missing, make it 2-0.
The Oilers being able to do the same thing to get redemption. Not even just after the 2 games, but back here.
Mercy rule here in the PGCBL, 12 after 6, 10 after 7. As check swing on the appeal did not go around, 3-0.
You know, we're always going to mention this, but again, the check swing, you always say that should be the home plate umpire's decision when the other umpire is right in the middle of the field like that.
Well, when he's on the third base side of the bag, but on the second base or first base side of the bag, that is definitely his call because he does have a better angle. As the 3-0 pitch taken for a strike, 3-1.
And showing his heat.
You see that home plate umpire over there between first and second. He's going to have a cleaner angle to see if the bat crosses the plane on a right-handed hitter than if he was over on the other side. And that one, high for a ball, and the Oilers are chirping in the dugout. And the Tarp Skunks struggling to find an out here.
Again, we would like to remind everybody, the Tarp Skunks have not put up 0 since the third inning.
3 in the fourth, 3 in the fifth, 2 so far here in the sixth.
Tarp Skunks were only able to muster up 1 back in the third.
So now here's Thomas Bates. Swing! And a ruthless cut miss. 0-1 the count. Bates was thinking grand slam right there. That was a power swing versus a power fastball.
Yeah, he was aiming over the blue monster in left field. He wanted that really badly.
As the base is loaded here. Snap throw over to first after the ball, and it's 1-1.
You know, I don't really understand it because bases are loaded. It's not like he can go anywhere.
No, but, with the bases loaded, your concentration might lapse over there at first base, and I think that's what Delonta was hoping for, to try to catch him napping a little bit. 1-1. Oh, that was a beautiful pitch on the outside corner that was called a ball. That should have been a strike.
Yeah, I don't understand where that one missed. That was beautiful, but they didn't give that one to him.
Even if it was just off the black, I guess, the home plate umpires, you're going to have to earn those calls tonight. And I think that's something that we might have seen here so far in this season, is that one comes in, almost hits him, and it's 3-1, is that the strike zones seem to be a little squeezed to start this season.
Yeah, I mentioned this back in the Oilers Stadium where you almost got to be perfect with these strike calls.
Wind is absolutely dead here at Diethrick Park, and so is the bullpen. Is that one taken on the outside corner for a strike? 3-2. Nobody warming up, so this is going to be Aiden Gruber's game to maintain and try to keep the Oilers in check.
I noticed batter, he really thought that was going to be ball 4 as he walked over the first, but he got the called strike.
3-2. 1 out here. Top of the 6th, 2 already in for Olean. And the pitch outside for a ball and a walk. Brings in a run. Base is still loaded.
Yeah, and once again.
And they did have someone warmed up in the bullpen and ready. And Joe Riddebach is coming out to get Aiden Gruber. That's going to do it for him. Base is still loaded. With only 1 out, we'll have the new Tarp Skunks pitcher when we come back. Degrees, no wind. Line drive down the third base line. That's a fair ball. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Herman will stop at second with a double and 2 RBIs. And we will wait to see. And that is going to do it. That is your ball game as the Jamestown Tarp Skunks mercy the Olean Oilers by a final score of 13-3. There's a high fly ball right field deep. That one is going way back, and it is gone! A grand slam for Paul Delanto. Welcome to the Skunks. Touch 'em all, Paul. It's 6-0 Tarp Skunks.
And that is the start that you want. You cannot ask for a better start. Putting up 6 in the first inning.
New Tarp Skunks pitcher is going to be left-hander Colton McCall, his first appearance for Jamestown. He's got, it seems to be a familiar theme tonight, he inherits some trouble as bases are loaded, 3 already across here in the top of the 6th inning. And Jack Painter, the left-handed first baseman, coming up for Olean. He has grounded out to the pitcher, as struck out and walked. So officially 0 for 2. McCall, the 6th Tarp Skunks pitcher, and that ball driven deep to right field, foul.
I think that landed in the trees.
That one,
Originally, that was fouled.
that one had 375 written all over it, just yanked about 40 feet foul.
I know Painter has to be a little disappointed with that one.
Ball looks like a beach ball coming into him. That one gets away from Delanto, coming in to score. All the way from third base is Radice, and it's now 10-1.
You know, on that pitch, it hit Delanto's glove and then hit him in the mask, and then it went over towards the Tarp Skunks bullpen or dugout, and so that's how that run scores.
Run scores on the passed ball, advancing to second and third. Bates and Stout. So now first base open, 1-1 the count. And the pitch. Swinging a pop straight up. Delanto coming behind the screen. And he makes the catch for out number 2.
Now, I didn't see that because it was basically right below us. But
He did not catch it. Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah, it was hard to see because that was literally right below us. Good job by Delanto being able to make that catch.
And for the 3rd inning in a row, the Oilers sending their 9th hitter to the plate. This time it's Cooper Tarley. Tarley has walked, singled, and grounded out to second. First base still open, and the first pitch outside for a ball, 1-0.
You know, I want to go back. That statement of this is the 3rd inning, that 9 different batters have came to the plate in an inning kind of baffles me a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the way the game started, Jack Castillo lights out, hitless through 3 innings, couple strikeouts, couple of walks, and then the bullpen tells a completely different story as that one misses 2-0.
Yeah, now you're behind by 9 runs. And again, haven't put up 0 since the 3rd inning.
2-0 the count. That one finds the zone, 2-1. Cowburn on deck. He would hit next if Tarley can extend the inning.
Again, if you're the Tarp Skunks, you have to protect. Do not want to give up any more runs.
Swing and a miss. And the count evens up at 2 apiece. McCall leaving a bit of a challenge fastball up in the zone.
He's going to have to go at him now. Got 2 outs here.
Defense has been standing there quite a while. 2-2. That one comes in. And did it actually hit him?
I don't think it
No.
did.
Good stop by Delanto. That ball came in behind Tarley, and I don't know how that missed him. But even more credit, I don't know how Delanto was able to catch that.
Yes. And the batter's right there. Kind of throws off your vision on the ball.
3-2. Line drive into left field. Dumas on his horse goes back and makes the catch. And the inning is over, but 4 runs on 1 hit. Bases left loaded. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 10-1 Oilers. here's the plan. You're getting a 7. If we do end up getting mercy, when the game is over, after the third out, I'll jump in and close it out.
Okay.
What the hell just happened? There's a fly out to center.
Fly out to center.
Did you know that the DBA in Jaxson about Olean back to a power outage?
It's only 9 o'clock.
That's crazy. It's only 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Feels like it's 10 o'clock or 11:30. I keep forgetting what time it is. That's what baseball does to you.
Yep. Baseball and casinos. So it's going to be 8, 9, 10. I'll give you the nice intro.
Okay. 8, 9, 10.
Now batting for Olean in the top of the 7th, the third baseman number 4, A.D. Cowboy.
Top of the 7th inning, it's going to be 8, 9, 10 due up for the Olean Oilers. And here to tell you about it is Jalen Ferguson.
Thank you. Hopefully, we do not get mercied as the first pitch is in there for a strike. And so, it's quickly ahead 0-1.
Yeah, Colton McCall closed out the last inning after 4 runs came across. He looks like he might be taking it the rest of the way.
Ooh, and that was a beautiful off speed, but just missed. So now the count is even 1-1. I thought they were going to give that to him.
I would go so far as to call that one filthy. That had late break on it.
That one misses for a ball. Again, it's almost like you got to be perfect because, again, like you said, the pitch before that was nasty. Kept the bat at his shoulders, and then the next one missed it. And again, he missed it. Well, outside for a ball. It's 3-1 the count. And Colburn draws the walk, and so we start off the top of the 7th with a base runner at first. And so coming up next is the shortstop, Aramis Romero.
Romero's been on base once out of 3 at-bats. He's flown out twice to left. And he walked back in the 3rd inning.
So here comes the pitch from McCall, and that one misses. 1-0. Aiden Colburn first. And Romero fouls one off behind the plate, and it'll be 1-1.
Short lead out there on the off first base for Cowburn.
Yeah, I would not expect him to steal. The 1-1 count. It again misses, and that gets behind Delanto, throws to second, and not in time. And Colburn gets to second safely. As it is a 2-1 count to Romero.
I think this is an interesting ball game. Yeah, 10-1. Tarp Skunks in trouble here.
That one is hit to right center field, but the center fielder being able to make the catch and record the first out for the Tarp Skunks.
And that's Grant Moore showing that range, able to get to that one quickly. The question that I'm curious to see is, what is going to be the bounce back response tomorrow?
It's all about momentum. You have to have short-term memory. So it's going to bring up Connor O'Mara.
This time called at the plate. Not sure what's going on there.
Maybe trying to change up his approach at the plate.
There's been there's been a little bit of chirping between these two teams today as the first pitch.
It's down low for a ball. And yeah, like you said, there has been some chirping. I think that's part of the spark, putting up 3, 3, and 4, 3 innings. So there goes the 1-0. That one's in the dirt for a ball. And Connor O'Mara is ahead in the count 2-0.
Tomorrow's ball game is going to be very interesting because the Jamestown Tarp Skunks lost their last 2 games at Batavia, one to lose the 1 seed in the playoffs.
That one misses inside for a ball. Yes.
And then they lost in the PGCBL Western Finals in Batavia.
So the Tarp Skunks are coming into Batavia with some anger.
And Batavia lost to these Oilers.
As that one misses 3-0. O'Mara draws the walk, and Colburn goes to third. So now you have a first and third situation, and that goes back to the top of the lineup. The center fielder, Grant Fournier. And you might see Connor O'Mara on the run to second, trying to bring that home to third.
Yeah, throughout the unwritten rule book of baseball, don't steal up more than 5 runs or whatever. This league, anything can happen. And I mean,
they're trying to go for the mercy.
Yeah.
Trying to put him away.
Well, I mean, a fly ball into the outfield will put him at that 10-run threshold.
Yeah, I just realized that now that you said that, because that one misses for a ball. And yes, a fly ball in the outfielder could seal it if Fournier can get that.
Well, Tarp Skunks will get their at-bats. Ooh.
That one is up in the zone, or up and away for ball 2 or ball 3.
Yeah.
Again.
It's not fun being on this side of this type of game. We were on the other side on Friday. And, once this is all set.
That one misses inside, and Fournier draws the ball.
What's... no, that's not right. It added a run on the scoreboard. That wasn't the case, and now we're going to get another conference at the mound. I don't see anyone ready in the bullpen. I could be wrong, though.
I did see McCaw, a little frustration after the walk. Kind of just stood there.
Looks like we're actually going to get somebody up. It's a stretch here. And number 17. No, that was Rocco Almonte. He's already pitched. So it looks like it's going to be McCall's game for the rest of the night. But, yeah, tomorrow's game versus Batavia, it's going to be interesting. Olean beating Batavia. Olean, on the precipice of beating the Skunks here tonight. Especially with some, I'm not going to call it bad blood, but there's the rivalry, and there's going to be some unfinished business on the part of the Tarp Skunks. It's going to be a very interesting ball game tomorrow. Well, looking forward to that.
They are your New York Yankees to the Boston Red Sox.
Yes, they are the Dodgers to my Giants. If I want to keep it 100 to me.
Here comes Connor Vercoloni as he watches first pitch strike. And you got Romero at third, O'Mara at second, and Fournier at first. McCall misses that one outside for a ball. It's 1-1. And again, another bases loaded situation with 1 out. We're starting to see that a lot in these games. As that one misses. 2-1. The Oilers got 8 hits in the ball game today and 1 error.
That's where most of their runs have come from.
And that one is hit out to left, and he's going to make the catch, and O'Mara is going to come across the plate to score, and the throw in is offline.
They should appeal to third. I think they should appeal to third because I think the runner left early.
I think I was having a little trouble looking at this. I had to peer to my right. I know you saw that play a lot better than I did. What did you see on that?
I saw the runner take off before the ball went into Dumas's glove. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to just go ahead and do the appeal anyway.
So now that's Anthony Radice.
But now it's a moot point, and it's an 11-1 ball game.
It is.
In fact, they should, I would have just automatically done it even if there was no suspicion of it. Because if he did get called out, then that run gets, now that run does count.
That one is hit. Pop fly behind the plate. Delanto can't make the catch. It is a foul ball. And so now the count is 0-1 or 0-2, I believe.
No, that run would not have counted if on the appeal. If they had appealed and it was determined that he had left early, that run wouldn't have counted.
Yeah, it wouldn't have counted, and on top of that, it would be runners at first and second.
But if, I don't even remember where I was going with that. If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
That is the first time I'm hearing that.
You're going to hear a lot of first-time stuff from me.
Someone is inside for a ball. Anthony Radice to move out of the way of that one. Okay, so it's not an 0-2 count. In fact, it's a 1-1 count. Or no, it's a 1-2. Still trying.
Is it 1-2? I don't know. I don't know. I think it's 2-1.
Still having trouble with the scoreboard out and right. That one misses for a ball.
At this point in the game, I'm all lost. It's 2-2, according to the scoreboard. I'm going to go with that.
Again, giving up a run. Haven't had a scoreless inning since the third. As that one has popped up right behind us.
And sounds like it landed in the concourse. You can hear when it lands on the roof, and I did not hear that distinctive thump.
Maybe it landed in that roof area just above the concession stands.
Where they're selling $2 hot dogs, $2 beers for the next, minute and a half.
The 2-2 swings and misses, and Radice is sat down on strikes. So 2 hits, 3 left on. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It is 11-1 here, and we'll come back after this.
Degrees, no wind. Line drive down the third base line. That's a fair ball. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Herman will stop at second with a double and 2 RBIs. And we will wait to see. And that is going to do it. That is your ball game as the Jamestown Tarp Skunks mercy the Olean Oilers by a final score of 13-3. There's a high fly ball right field deep. That one is going way back, and it is gone! A grand slam for Paul Delanto. Welcome to the Skunks. Touch 'em all, Paul. It's 6-0 Tarp Skunks.
And that is the start that you want. You cannot ask for a better start. Putting up 6 in the first inning.
As we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, it's going to be JRC, CJ Dugan, and Tito Kiefer due up, trying to stay out of the mercy situation. And here to tell you all about it is Jalen Ferguson.
Thanks, Dre, as we have JRC up to hit. Still has not gotten a hit at all this season. He watches the first pitch inside for a ball.
Has been on twice with walks. You know, I don't care how they get on. I don't care if it's a walk. I don't care if it's a hit. I don't care if it's a hit by pitch. As long as they get on base.
They've proven that.
It's the Billy Bean school of thought, former general manager of the former Oakland Athletics.
That last pitch caught the zone for a strike. It's 1-1 now. And JRC ducks underneath the pitch.
That is the second one that has gone for his head today.
Let alone against the Oilers.
Yeah. Well, at least 3 against the Oilers because one made contact.
It did. That one's fouled down the right field line.
Very loud, very foul.
The thing is that as it gets dark and these lights start to show, we talked about this in the other stadium, is that how hard it is to track the ball.
Lighting here definitely a bit better though.
It is a little. It's better here.
You don't have as many dark gaps as you did in Olean.
Now that you did have a lot of dark gaps in Olean. It's in the dirt, and so now the count is 3-2. And yes, like you said, there was a lot of dark gaps in Olean. Not here. Maybe a little bit towards the warning track out in the outfield.
Yeah, in the gaps too. Definitely a lot of darker patches in the gaps.
And that one is hit to second, throws to first. And JRC is retired. And that is the first out for Olean. And that will bring up CJ Dugan.
Dugan's been hit by a pitch, grounded out to third back in the 2nd inning.
Oh, no, he's not going to hit.
Oh, it's going to be Anthony Tromer.
Anthony Tromer, another player still yet to find a hit. Actually, yet to get on base, actually. It's the first pitch of the at-bat, and that one is in the dirt. First things first for everything. I'm sure he can get on base.
There's a first for everything until you do it.
And so the 1-0 pitch to Tromer. That one catches the zone for a strike. It's 1-1. You know, we talked about this before the break, or during the break. You know, during this part of the game, you're going to see a lot of pinch hitters. As the 1-1, I thought that hit him, but it didn't, so the count is 2-1.
Yeah, it did look like it kind of bounced off his foot there, but no.
So now 2-1 to Tromer. That one is outside for a ball. It's 3-1. Tromer, I'm still yet to see that sweet swing of his.
Hasn't found one in the zone he likes yet.
That one is inside. He walks, so he finally is able to get on base this season. And that should bring up Tito Kiefer.
Nope, this is going to be Jaxson Enders.
So Jaxson Enders. You know, I gotta say, Jaxson Enders has really impressed me in the middle infield. I really liked him at short.
Second, he played second on Friday.
Or second on Friday.
Showed tremendous range.
As the first pitch is strike in the zone. Trommer at first. And a 0-1 count to Enders. You know, Enders another player with that speed. The 0-1. That one is hit deep to left. But left fielder makes the catch. And so now it is now 2 outs on the Tarp Skunks. And that can bring up Matthew Dumas if... Nope, yep, they're having Dumas. There's no pinch hitter for Dumas.
So last hope for the Tarp Skunks to get this game into the 8th inning. As Olean with the 10-run lead in the bottom of the 7th inning. If Dumas gets out, that is going to be the ball game.
So the 0-0. And he watches that one in for a strike. And again, I do got to give credit to Joe Riedebach. He knows how to exchange these right-handed hitters for these left-handed hitters. As the 0-1. Ooh, and that one missed. I thought he was going to get that.
That might have been a favor to Dumas. That was a breaking ball that dropped maybe, I don't know, maybe just a couple inches before it got to the knees in the front of the plate, but that looked really good.
Yeah, that one did drop. That one called strike. So, Tarp Skunks down to their final strike. Can Dumas stay in the game here?
Runner takes his lead.
The 0-2, or the 1-2. That one is hit to center, and that one drops. So Dumas is able to get to first on a single. And we go back to the top of the order of Grant Moore.
Yeah, the Skunks looks like, you know, they're not ready to roll over and die. They're putting up a fight. Now Grant Moore, who a bit quiet today at the plate, he does have a single and 2 strikeouts. This is an opportunity for him to drive in a run and keep this game going.
Still has a 3-game hitting streak. Keeping that intact. The 0-0. One misses for a ball.
That was a nice breaking ball that just fell off the black on the outside.
And notice he's starting to lean towards that breaking ball as we get closer towards the end of the game. As the 1-0. And that one catches the zone.
Yep, right back to it.
Seeing 2 breaking balls. Maybe Grant Moore is sitting on a fastball.
You know, you keep throwing the breaking balls, pretty soon they're going to get off that fastball, and that's when you get them.
There goes the 1-1. Outside for a ball.
And there was that fastball, and Moore not interested in.
Maybe still trying to get a feel for the pitcher. Trommer at second. And Dumas at first. 2-1. That one is fouled behind the plates. And that one might have hit back up here. I don't know where that landed.
Definitely made a bang, but again, Skunks down to their final strike. Dumas able to get a 2-out poke. Let's see if Grant Moore can join him here.
I think that one hit the trash can if that was that noise. There goes the 2-2. And swing and a miss, and that is the ball game. The Oilers win 11-1.
Final score here from Diethrick Park. The Oilers mercy out the Jamestown Tarp Skunks by a final score of 11-1. Cohen Harris will take the loss for the Tarp Skunks. The win will go to Jackson Ross, and the Tarp Skunks will be on the road tomorrow in Batavia. We will be there at the game, and hopefully we will get it live, pending availability of internet. If we are not able to get it live, it will be on tape delay. And so we hope to join you then. The next time the Tarp Skunks are back here at Diethrick Park will be Tuesday, June the 9th for Kids Day. That is an 11 a.m. first pitch. For Jalen Ferguson, I'm Dre Guinness, thanking everybody for tuning in tonight. Once again, the final score, 11-1, Olean mercies the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. Until we meet again, ladies and gentlemen, good night, everybody.